So a lot of you will have issues when you're trying to buy small properties or cheap properties. A lot of banks that won't lend on them. So how do we buy? Everybody, Cashflow Kris here, taking on.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris here.
What's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris with Investors Edge Real Estate Group here. Hey, what's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris here with another episode of Ask Cashflow Kris. I appreciate you guys submitting your questions. I definitely want to add value to my channel and the people who subscribe to our channel. So if you're seeing me for the first time, absolutely subscribe and click the notification button and you'll get a message anytime I drop a new video. Okay, the last video we were talking about how and why we moved into the Cleveland, Ohio market. And I promised I'd tell you guys how we are buying properties in the Cleveland, Ohio market right now. So our main property that we like to buy is we buy single family up to 4 units, and the price range is typically between $20,000 and let's just talk about duplexes and single families today. Let's not worry about the other stuff. So our typical price point is between $20,000 and maybe $45,000 in our selected zip codes. That's going to be for a single family or for a duplex. So we like to have what's called the $2 rule. We want to collect at least $2 in rent for every $1,000 in purchase price that we spend. So for example, if we're buying one of these $30,000 houses, we want to receive at least $600 a month in rent. So this is very common in the Cleveland market. And so that's why we dove head in. We are going all out in the Cleveland market, and we're going to build our little dynasty here. We've selected our zip codes. We have our areas that we like to buy in. They're where we can get a great price, but it's still a safe neighborhood, a good neighborhood for our tenants. So how do we buy? So a lot of you will have issues when you're trying to buy small properties or cheap properties. A lot of banks that won't lend on them. The first thing you need to do is you need to find lenders in that city. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. If I go to a Phoenix, Arizona lender and say, hey, I'm an investor, I'm looking to buy a $30,000 property in Cleveland, Ohio, they won't be able to help us. So you definitely need to go local. You need to go to the local banks there. Just start pulling a list and dialing and see who will lend on those. Now, of course, we're real estate investors, so we're always buying cash. We're getting in quick. We're rehabbing the property. We're turning them as fast as we can, and then we're getting them leased out. So for me, I'm not going to worry about a bank at first. So we need cash and or private money to be able to buy our properties because we need to move quick. They're not always in the best shape. Sometimes they're vacant and need a lot of work. So private money is really where we've made our mark in this business. It's allowed us to scale, and it's allowed us to help our investors make very good returns. So we will pay on average 10-12% for a first mortgage loan on our properties. And so as you can imagine, those are very easy to sell. We have a very large sphere, and we have a lot of investors that work with us. And so our strategy is to accumulate as many of these little houses as we can, buy them, renovate them, rent them, and then we want to package them. We can refinance them one by one, but really what we want to do is we want to be able to package. So let's just use an example. Let's say we're going to buy a single family house that we're all in for $35,000. Okay, so we have a private note of $35,000. We borrow that cash. We put all the money in, and we've got a nice cash flowing property. It's fixed up, it's rented, it's ready to go. Okay, so now multiply that times 10. So now we have 10 houses, all rented at $850 a month, and we borrowed at 12%, $35,000 for each of these. So our income is $8,500 a month, minus our typical expenses, and which includes a $3,500, because remember $350 times 10. So our outgo is $3,500 a month. So as you can see, we're still cash flowing. We're always going to be cash flowing because these markets are so amazing. We have expensive money, and it's not money that we want to keep forever. So what we do is we will put 10 of those packages together, and then we will refinance into what's called a blanket mortgage. Again, you're going to have to find the right lender. Not everybody does this. Some of them will want you to have 10 different loans, and if that's what we have to do, sometimes that's what we will do. But in this scenario, let's just assume that we can get this blanket mortgage. So what did we do? We borrowed $350,000 from our investors. We're paying them well. We're paying them 1 a month, 12% a year, and they're happy as can be. So over a year, we get these 10, right? Or 6 months, or however long it takes you to do it. And then we work on the refinance. They're all rented. We can show the income. We get that blanket refinanced. So now what happens? Now we just paid off, let's just say 10 different lenders with $35,000 each. So we just gave our lenders back $350,000. Our lenders are not making $3,500 a month anymore. So they're not happy. What are they going to do? They're going to give us the money right back, more likely than not. Usually about 80%, 90% of the time, they will just give us the money back, because that's what they gave it to us for in the first place. They want us to put it to work. They want cash flow. Okay? So as you can see, the quicker you can get up to 10, the quicker that you could go borrow that $350,000 and get it refinanced. Now you have money to go out and buy 10 more properties, and then do it again, 10 more properties. So that's our goal. We're quickly building our dynasty there in the Cleveland market, and we're going to be locking in long-term financing on these cash flow properties. So, you know, we're not going to be caught in 5 to 7 years if we have another downturn. We're going to have low payments and great cash flowing properties. So that is our buy strategy. That is our buy and hold strategy in the Cleveland market. I hope I brought value to you today. If you want more info on me, you can always hit me up on social media. Cashflow Kris, that's Kris with a K, K-R-I-S. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. We're always providing valuable videos like this. Feel free to reach out with any questions. Please drop your questions. Each episode of Cashflow Kris usually originates from a question. If you want to know how we do something, we build new homes in Phoenix area. We're going to be building apartments pretty soon. We own apartments nationwide with double-digit cap rates. And of course, we're in the Cleveland market. So if you want to know about any of those issues or strategies, definitely reach out. I'm here to help. Ask Cashflow Kris. I want you guys to be successful. I want to create 1,000 millionaires, and I know we can do it. But it all starts with real estate, and it all starts with the first two principles. Always buy real estate with equity, and always buy for cash flow. This is Cashflow Kris. I'll see you next time.